If you're serious, not just curious, about turning your business into the thing that gives you financial freedom, you're gonna wanna hear what I have to say. That's a phrase that I got from Myron Golden, who's one of dozens of multi-millionaire business owners that I've spent thousands of hours studying, not just to soak up the information for myself, but to test these things out, document the methods that have worked and helped me build my business to $35,000 per month, and also document what doesn't work and what advice should be ignored, all while sharing those insights with you. Because let's be honest, so many of the most valuable ideas, the things that turn people into multi-millionaires and give them financial freedom, are shared at levels way above where most beginners start. And I'm on a mission to change that. So if you're new here, my name is Lily, and if you've been to the channel before, welcome back. Right off the bat, the most important place we need to start if we want to copy those who already have the proven blueprint of what works is that there are only two types of businesses that we can build, and we need to decide which one we're going after. We cannot straddle the line or do both. The first type is a lifestyle business, and the second type is a performance business. A lifestyle business prioritizes the 3 F's of fun, freedom, flexibility, and allows you to do what you want, where you want. This type of business needs to generate anywhere from $250,000 a year to $5 million per year, which on a monthly basis is going to be about $21,000 per month, all the way up to around $415,000 per month. I'll tell you why it's important we know those numbers on a monthly basis and where I'm getting those numbers from in just a second. A performance business, on the other hand, is one that needs to make around $6 million per year, which would be about $500,000 per month. The reason is, while a lifestyle business is built around you living the lifestyle that you want with the fun, freedom, and flexibility, a performance business is one that is built to perform so that you can eventually sell it. The goal sale amount for a business like this is usually at minimum around $10 million, which is why you need to be making at least $6 million to sell for that much. I was fortunate enough to get to go to Stanford Business School as well as Notre Dame Business School, and I saw the path of trying to build performance businesses, whether that was in the startup world at Stanford, where people that I went to school with were dropping apps like Snapchat, or in the corporate world at Notre Dame, where people were climbing the ladders at the biggest corporate jobs in the world. Both of those experiences proved to me that I do not want to build a performance business and take the time and risk to try to build something that I can maybe eventually sell down the line after maybe a decade or two. That's not the way that I approach business, and it's not what I share on this channel. A lifestyle business, on the other hand, one that focuses on having time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom, and getting there quickly so that we can actually enjoy it, is the focus that I have. And the reason that a lifestyle business starts at you making $250,000 per year is because the average American household between 2 salaries is gonna make about $110,000 per year. And in order for it to be worth it for you to choose to be an entrepreneur and start your own thing, I would say you need to get paid 2.5 times more than the average employee would. That's where I get the $250,000 as the minimum amount that a lifestyle business needs to make. Because the truth is just that as an entrepreneur, you're gonna work longer hours, you're gonna be working by yourself without the support of a team, so you'll have more risk and more expenses. But if you can reach that financial freedom number and do it in the right way, it can absolutely be worth it. Most people don't know what that specific financial freedom number is, though. The number that you need to make on a monthly basis, not just to cover your living expenses and squeak by, but to actually live your version of a financially free life. And so I made a new financial freedom calculator that is available for free inside of my free school community. You just hit the link in the top comment to grab it. It'll walk you through how much the exact lifestyles you want to have are actually going to cost you, and it'll help you figure out what price point your services need to be, how many of them you need to sell in order for you to reach it. So like I said, the link to that is in the top comment. But this is where most people mess up. We think, okay, $250,000. What skill do I have that's worth $250,000? And most people, right off the bat, struggle to answer that question. We start thinking, oh, I don't have a skill that I can charge them much, so let me start smaller, and then over time I'll build up. No, that's not what we're gonna do. Remember, we want to reach our financial freedom goals fast, and we wanna do it in a way that we can feel good about. And that's why we have to realize that we get paid for the value of the problem that we solve. A bottle of water when you're trapped in the desert is worth way more than a bottle of water when you're at home. Getting a locksmith to come let you into your house when you're locked out at 2 a.m. is gonna cost more than at 2 p.m. We often undervalue value our business and what we're selling because we don't think about it from the perspective of the person who has that problem and how valuable it is for them to solve. For example, if I told you that I had a pizza and hot dog stand, you might think that I've got just a very bare bones business where I'm selling cheap products, and as people walk through the park, they might stop or they might not. But if I told you that I had a pizza and hot dog stand that was positioned outside of the local bar, and it was the only thing that was open when the bar let out, and all of these drunk people stumbled past my pizza and hot dog stand at 2, 3 a.m. while they're starving and smelling the beautiful aromas, my pizza and hot dog stand in that situation is much more valuable because of the problem I'm solving and who I'm solving it for. And that's how you want to think about your business, is figuring out who are the people who have this problem and value the solution the most, which from there raises the question of, how do you know the value of the problem that you're solving? Myron Golden breaks this down into 3 markets, and I really like this example. The first market is the commodity market, and this is where you're selling something that is a commodity. What does that mean? It basically just means that the difference between buying your product versus someone else who's selling the same or similar thing is pretty much just price. I always think about going to Lowe's to buy nails. There's like 15 different brands of nails, and honestly, I'm pretty much just looking for the cheapest one that's going to get the job done. Nails in that sense are a commodity because they all do the same thing. And so I'm only basing my decision really on the price of them. It's not that a commodity solves an insignificant problem. The problem can still be important. It's just that the problem is solved in the same way by all of the options. So now people naturally just compare price. And that's where you don't want to be, because it's just a race to the bottom. You have to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, cutting your margins. And it's just not a good place to be, because of course you're not going to get paid that much per sale. And you're not Lowe's. You don't have hundreds of thousands of people walking into your stores every single day across the country. You're probably in a place where you have to make the most of a limited amount of interest in your business, which means you can't have a limited amount of interest and a hyper low price. It just, math won't work. The second market is the mass market. And this is where you're solving a problem with a little bit more differentiation between you and your competitors. I like to think of Whole Foods versus a traditional neighborhood grocery store as a good example, because both stores sell food to the masses. That's why they're in the mass market. Now, Whole Foods is able to differentiate from your local grocery store because they make the promise of having healthy foods with less artificial ingredients and dyes and that type of thing. And because of that, they can get away with a little bit higher of a price. But the problem in the mass market is that there's still a limit, because they're still, in essence, selling the same thing and solving a problem in the same way as the local grocery store, right? You might pay $3 more for an organic banana at Whole Foods, but you're not going to pay $300 more. There's a limit to how much more, even in the mass market, those top dogs can charge versus their competitors. So yes, it's better than being a commodity where it's just a race to the bottom, but even in the mass market, you still have the problem of, 1, needing a massive amount of people to purchase and make it work, and 2, you still have a price ceiling on what you can realistically charge. I figured out this trap of being in either the commodity market or the mass market in my own business when I started out selling a $7 product. And you might think that $7 is such a low price point, you'll get a lot of people to take it. And I did. I sold about 3,000 of them. And that made me about $20,000 over the course of a year. But making 3,000 sales is not easy. And when they're so low priced, $20,000 still doesn't get you anywhere close to that $250,000 that we're really aiming for as a lifestyle business. So then I sold something for a little bit higher of a price, which was $597. And for these, I sold way less. I sold 20 of them, but those 20 made me $117,000, which obviously is way more than I made selling 3,000 $7 products. So you can see how when you raise your prices, you need fewer sales for it to be significant. Even $597 doesn't put us in the third and final market where we actually want to be, which is the premium market. A premium price point is going to start around $5,000. And the reason is, in the premium market, you are not competing on price. You're not compared to other options on price. You're compared on value and problem solving. And therefore, there's no cap to how high your prices can be as long as they solve a problem that's more valuable. I know I said $5,000 is a good place for most beginners to start here, but I know for a fact that there's a very popular online business owner who charges $50,000 for someone to ride with him on his private jet from California to New York. And over the course of that flight, he'll diagnose their business problem. And by the time time they land, have a solution and next steps for them. Why the heck would anyone pay $50,000 for that? Because they value the solution to their business problem at more than $50,000. Imagine if the information they get on that flight helps them add $500,000 to their business in the next year. Well, then that $50,000 investment was absolutely worth it. And this is why you want to be in the premium market, because your value is not based on what someone is thinking they spent. It's based on what someone thinks they will get because of working with you. And there's unlimited upside when you think about it that way. If $50,000 per offer is a little bit too far out there, I totally get it. So let's think about our example of just a $5,000 premium product. You would have to sell just 5 of them to make $25,000 per month, which is $300,000 per year. That's your lifestyle business right there. And I promise you, it is easier to sell a $5,000 product 5 times than it is to sell a $500 product 20 times or a $7 product 3,000 times. It feels like it would be easier to get people to jump at cheap, but it's really not. Think about how you buy things. It's not because someone just yells discount on this day-old sushi at the gas station that you buy it just because it's cheap. That's not how we actually make decisions. We make decisions on what to buy based on, does that thing solve the problem that we have? If it's a yes, and we value that solution more than it costs, and we trust the person who's going to deliver it, we move forward with it every time. The premium market is also way friendlier to beginners than you might think, because you need fewer successes to make a significant amount of money. You could talk to 100 people, try to sell them your $5,000 thing, and you only need 5 to say yes, versus if you're selling the $7 thing, you're going to have to speak to tens of thousands of people. And that's just really, really hard. If you made it this far, you're the exact type of person I would love to have inside of our free school community. Just go to the link in the top comment to join, and that's where you'll find access to that financial freedom calculator that I built to help you figure out what your financially free life is going to cost, what price you need to get your services to, and how many people you need to buy it to help you get there. Until next time, thanks for watching.